Hey, this is Jeff Pilson of Foreigner, Dokken, WMSC, M Machine, Black Swan, you name it, I think I've been in it. Anyways, you are listening to the Metal Teddy Bear Experience, my favorite.
And welcome back to the Metal Teddy Bear Experience here on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. This is your host, Chris, and I have a very special guest on the line. You might know him from his time in Dokken or as the current bassist in Foreigner. We have Jeff Pilson. What's up, man? How you doing today?
Great, and it's great to be here, Chris. Thanks.
Dude, the pleasure is all mine. This new project you have out now, Heavy Hitters, with George Lynch, really cool. I got to talk to him yesterday, and now I get to talk to you, the masterminds behind this 11-track record.
Well, thank you. Good to be here.
So I was talking to him, and he said that this kind of was something that you guys wanted to do, you guys talked about, and then during COVID, you guys actually got to do it and all that. Were there songs on this record that you were just like, just chomping at, that you're like, I really want to do this cover?
Yes, the song You Got the Love by Rufus, which is the second track on the record. We've always loved that song. I mean, I've known George 38 years, and we've always been talking about that song. We've always loved it. We never really thought we'd cover it. We always thought we'd just like rip it off in spots, but we ended up covering it, had a great time doing so, and it's just been a phenomenal experience. So, yay.
No, it's definitely fun, especially by all the different tracks you had. Like the one I was telling George yesterday is the first track, One of Us by Joan Osborne. That one just got stuck in my head, and you guys did it really well. But then you have songs from like Carole King and Oasis, and you're like, what's going on here? But you guys did a really good job of like getting all those different styles in, and I think you're going to be putting out different like decades, right? This is going to be like a volume 1 and volume 2.
We'd love to. I mean, I'm hoping that can happen. That would be wonderful.
So what would you what's something that didn't make the cut for you? Is there a track that you're like, you know what, I really want to play this, but it's not fitting the 11 tracks right now?
I can't think of any offhand. We kind of got the main ones done, as I recall. Somewhere I have the list of the other songs we mentioned, and they would have been cool too. But I know we settled on these for a reason. But if it happens again, we get to do more, and that'll be great.
Now, was there ever a time where you felt like just doing a couple of tracks and maybe just putting it out as an EP, or maybe even singles here and there, or did you really want to put this out as a full length?
It was always thought to. I mean, once we did that first experimental song that got Cleopatra to want to do a whole record, we knew it was a whole record, and that was the plan from day one.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, a lot of people have been doing different methods. Something I talked about on my show all the time is the band Acacia Strain, a little bit different genre, but they were really cool where they dropped several EPs along the way, and each one had like 3 or 4 tracks or whatever it may be, and then eventually it made the entire record. So fans got to focus on those 3 songs for like a month or two, and then the next month or two they focused on another batch. Is that something that you'll be interested in?
Possibly. I'm certainly open to it. Never even thought about it, so we'd have to think about it and see if it made sense. But if it did, why not?
Of course, yeah. Now I hear that. I mean, with all the projects you're in, if you just look at your discography, the amount of projects and albums you put out is just, almost endless. Especially with George, you guys have the End Machine. You have a lot of. You were in Lynch Mob with him as well, and obviously Dokken.
No, I was never in the Lynch Mob actually. I did play on a Lynch Mob record, but no, we were never actually in the band together.
Gotcha. Okay, because I saw that you did with Rebel. You were on Rebel, so that's why I thought.
Right, I did play on it. Right.
Okay. Well, when you're doing all these projects, does it ever get overwhelming? Like, do you ever feel like, oh man, how am I going to make this sound different from that? Or is it a very easy process for you?
No, you feel that sometimes. You feel like, wow, this, what am I going to do to be different here? Or, but you normally just try and let your instinct be the guide, and it generally serves you right.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, with this new covers record, the one song that, like I said before, the first track was, really caught me. But another one I thought was really well done was the track number 8, Kiss, originally by Prince. Who came up with this one? Whose idea was to do this track?
I don't remember. I think we were just kind of going through and looking at different eras and sounds, and both George and I love Prince, And so we thought, well, I bet we could do this in a rock way that would fit the record, and we did. So we sort of approached it with a little bit of ZZ Top in mind, which is kind of funny, but it was great.
Yeah, I know. And then he also said that the record label actually suggested some tracks to you. Which ones were those?
Well, I don't remember which. I think they might have. I don't know. I don't remember which ones they selected. Honestly, I really don't. I know they selected the first track that ended up getting us on this path, but that was for George's Kill All Control record, and that was the track "Somebody to Love" by Louis Capaldi.
Gotcha. And like I feel like a lot of projects right now during quarantine are kind of it's like we didn't have the time for this before, but now with like everything being locked down, we can't play shows, we can't tour anymore. Let's do this project. Is there another project too that you're able to work on now that the world kind of shut down in a way?
Well, I mean, not exactly, because there's things that I would have had to do anyways. But we did manage to record another M Machine record that's coming out in April, and we did all that remotely and in quarantine, so that came out great. And like I say, that's coming out in April. Videos are probably coming at the end of February, so we're gonna be doing videos in a couple of weeks. So, we were in quarantine, but because we had done the Heavy Hitters record together, we had a system down for recording remotely that worked really well when it came to M Machine, because we were a little worried about the writing process for M Machine, but because we'd had that experience with Heavy Hitters, we knew what to do, and the writing actually went real smooth. I was very, very pleased with it, and now I can't wait for that record to come out.
So the M Machine, I think that was gonna. I don't know, it was a while ago. George said it was gonna sound more like Dokken in a way.
Yeah, it does. I would say this one definitely sounds more like Dokken than the last record. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Is that something that just happened organically, or you guys are just kind of like, what happens if we make it sound like this a little bit? Like, how will it come out? And then
there was some intention. We intentionally wanted it to be a little closer to the Dokken vibe. Partly because we just kind of feel like that's something that's missing right now, and there's not a lot of that going on. And we just thought we thought, who better to fill that void than the guys that did it in the first place? So, and then as it happened, it became very organic because that music is so natural to us.
Nice. And you said that it's going to come out in April. Did you guys have a title for it?
We do. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce it yet, because there's a big announcement coming January 26th, so I probably shouldn't say it yet. But yes, we do have a title. It's all done. The artwork's done. Everything. It's all we have to do is do the videos and then release the stuff.
Got you. Okay. For anyone listening right now, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, the Metal Teddy Bear Experience. I'm on the phone with Jeff Pilson. So on my show, I ask 3 random silly questions called the Random Silly Question segment. You ready for this?
Sure.
All right. Question number 1, your favorite food?
Sushi.
Nice. Okay. I'm more of a like a pizza, burgers kind of guy, really plain. Sushi sometimes is a little too much for me.
Okay.
Question number 2, most prized possession?
My daughter. That's not a possession. I would say I have a 1955 Les Paul that is pretty phenomenal. That's probably my most prized singular possession.
Was it used on the Heavy Hitters?
No, because George recorded remotely, but it was certainly used a lot on the first M Machine record. That's for sure.
Okay, sweet.
Almost every record I do when it's recorded here, people will use the Les Paul because it's a great guitar.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely. I feel like those are the most iconic guitars.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Question number 3. What was your first big purchase?
First big purchase.
Well, big to you. I mean, everyone can look at something differently. Like some people said, like their guitar, like that was the first time they spent that much money.
Right.
Some people say a house.
Yeah. I would say my first big purchase was actually the one that really sticks out in my mind is in the late 70s. I ended up buying an Alembic bass, which they were really expensive at the time, like $2,000. I didn't have a penny to my name, but somehow I scrounged the money together to get that. And that was like the first, like, wow, I'm really going for it here. But it was a cool feeling, and I'm glad I did it.
Nice, yeah. I mean, I think when I saw the guitar I wanted, it was around 2000. I was like, all right, I think I'm going to get something else. Because there's no way I was going to save that much money for that. So instead, I got an ESP AX 400, the one Max Cavalera uses, for around 600. It was discontinued too, so I got it for cheap. But it's such an amazing guitar, and I still play it today.
Cool.
So that was the random silly question segment. Hope it wasn't that bad. Usually people get a little a little hesitant. They're like, okay, I'll do this. So yeah, any upcoming plans for you guys? Do you have any plans of doing like a live stream or anything like that, or maybe doing any like solo performances, anything like that going on?
No, I think we're going to just worry about the videos for M Machine and see what goes from there.
Anything with Foreigner as well?
Well, we were supposed to start doing shows end of March, and the first couple are out at an outdoor venue that specializes in social distancing. It's in Orlando, Florida, and I think it looks like those could very well happen. So hoping that we start back up the touring train in March and continue on for the rest of the year. And let's hope we get closer to normal.
I hear that, man. I can't wait for shows to come back, obviously in a safe manner. But, I used to go to shows almost like maybe once or twice a week, all the time. Living in New Jersey, New York is right there and stuff like that. And going from like no shows for like almost a year now is crazy.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure, and I really appreciate you doing this. And again, thank you for everything.
Thank you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.